Flosstube. This is Stephanie, the Ivy House Crafter, and I am joined by my daughter Audrey for the beginning part of the video because she has some stuff to show. What do you want to show first? Okay, Audrey has been asking for her own cross-stitching supplies, including a pair of scissors. So I bought, I bought on Amazon a set of 2 pairs of embroidery scissors, and this is one of them. And it comes with a little lid and this cute little blade. The other set, or the other pair of scissors is purple and it has a curved blade, and I'm keeping that one. And to go with her scissors, I made a little bit of bling. This is just a cute little scissor fob that I made to go with her scissors.
I love the butterfly.
It's very pretty butterfly.
It has little gems on it. I rechose the buttons. They used to be pink and white.
Yeah, I made it without consulting her first. And so the first one that I made had pink and white buttons, and she wanted blue to match her scissors. Be gentle with it so that you don't accidentally cut your hair off or anything. Okay, what else do you want to show?
One of Mom's creations.
She has also been asking for me to make her very own Ort catcher, so I have. This is the catcher I made. I have a whole bunch that are cut out and ready to be sewed, and I haven't been sewing lately. And so I let Audrey choose from my stack which set that she wanted, and this was what she wanted. And there's the inside. And
little Ort.
Yep. And it already has a tiny little Ort in it. I don't know if you can see that. It's just a little bit of orange.
It's orange.
And she picked the snap. She wanted this bright pink color to add some variety to the blue. Okay.
And here's from the Ort is this, and this. This is the one that I'm working on is a chestnut. Okay,
so she finished the chocolate chip cookie she's been working on right here, and then she stitched this Satsuma. And then down here she's working on a chestnut. So this is her little collection of yummy looking cross stitch. And for those who haven't watched the videos before, these are from a book that I got on Amazon. It's called...
I'm going to go get it.
Mega Mini Cross Stitch Book. No, you don't need to.
Oh, okay.
We showed it last time you were on. So it's called the Mega Mini Cross Stitch Book, or something along those lines, and it's by Makoto Oozu, and I will link it below for anyone interested. And that is Audrey's show and tell for the video. Alright, say bye.
Bye. That didn't work.
Okay. She's gonna head off and make herself some lunch.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm currently in my toddler's room sitting on his little toddler bed because the lighting is really good in here and I can close the door. And right now all the kids are, we just got home from church and they are all rummaging through the kitchen, putting together their lunches and stuff, and so it's nice to have that door that I can just shut and sort of muffle their joyful children sounds. Okay, so this week I have continued with Arbitrary August, working on a different whip each week or each day, and those are being chosen by my Decision Roulette app where I spin the wheel. Apparently my app really likes, like, there's 3 or 4 projects that it lands on over and over and over again, and I'm trying to touch as many of my whips as possible, so when that happens, when it's one that I've already worked on, I just spin again. It has an affinity for the cat sampler, which was the first one that I worked on for Arbitrary August, and what else does it really like? It likes Spirit of Cross Stitch, which I already worked on. Actually, those are the two. Yeah, those two it kept landing on repeatedly. But like I said, I would just spin again when that happened so that I would have something else to work on. All right, the first project that I worked on this week, so last Sunday, was the cabinet. And this is by Thistles and designed by Elizabeth Gottschall. And I started the second shelf of the cabinet. So here's how it looks so far in total. And here's the area that I stitched on Sunday. I added these cups and the lines that come down indicating the panels of wood in the bookshelf, and I did this teapot. I did end up back stitching all the way around the teapot. It's not called for, but this really pale blue was kind of blending in with the really pale yellow, and so I thought it needed just a little bit more to differentiate those two. So that is what I worked on last Sunday. And that is being stitched on 32 count vintage Sahara Belfast linen. Okay. Monday is Spirit of Cross Stitch, and this is one of the angel ornaments by Brooke's Books Publishing. And this was one that, after spinning it this first time, the app continued to spin frequently. So this is stitched on perforated paper, and I've learned that it's not my favorite thing to stitch on, and this isn't my favorite project to work on, just because the perforated paper and having to use 3 strands of floss, and it's just not quite my groove. But I did enjoy the progress that I was able to make. I wish I had. I'll hold it up against this book. There we go. Maybe that'll. I don't know what this looks like because I'm using a camera and not a phone. But so what I did, basically I already had this bottom portion, and I had like a tiny bit of this really light brown in here, and so all of the rest of this, the shape of the skirt, I put in on Monday. And it's fun to see this really starting to come together. Alright, because it's paper, I like to keep it stored in its baggie and just make sure it's all protected and stuff. Okay, on Tuesday I worked on my Dimensions kit. This is Roses on White Chair. And I was so excited. If you look at the chair, I mean, there's very, very few actual white stitches in the chair, and especially the parts that I have stitched on it so far. But I finally put in the first white stitches on that white chair. So here it is so far. And right there, those very few little stitches right there, those are the white stitches on the white chair. All the rest of this like really dark grays and browns and stuff, that's the rest of the white chair that isn't at all white. But anyway, besides those few little white stitches, I worked a great deal up in here, just filling in some pinks and whites and just trying to get this portion finished. So I think that this is turning out really pretty. It's another one that's not my favorite to work on. This is the Ada that came with the kit. This is the piece that got me back into cross stitching, or rather the first piece that I started working on when I got back into cross stitching, and I didn't know anything about, you know, switching out fabrics of kits and things like that. I like the color, you know, it will look really pretty when it's done, but it's stiff and scratchy. So it's not my favorite to work on, but I do like the way that it is looking. Okay, there we go. Wednesday, I spun Autumn Saltboxes by Plum Street Samplers, but I did not work on it that day because I was not feeling well, so I didn't do any cross stitching that day. So instead of spinning a new project to work on Thursday, I just decided to work on this, which I hadn't been able to on Wednesday. So this is Autumn Saltboxes by Plum Street Samplers. And I am stitching these two pieces together, or rather I was, because I finished. I'm not doing it Polaroid style. In the pattern, you go around the square part with white stitches and turn it into the instant photo style. I didn't want to do that. So yeah, I stitched them side by side. I'm not doing the white border stitches, and this will be turned into probably a pillow of some sort. I really love how it turned out. So what I put in was all of these stars and this little crow. So yeah, that is my finish, my Arbitrary August finish, and this was a Stitch Mania start that I started May of this year. So this is a pretty quick finish for me. I don't usually finish things this quickly, but it's pretty small, and I really enjoyed working on it. And that was stitched on all of the on the called for fabric, which is 36 count Beach Brew, with all of the called for flosses. Okay. On Friday, I have this pattern that I won from a giveaway by the lovely Michelle Bendy Stitchy. And just flash it really quick. It is this really old pattern of a vegetables sampler. And this is from the March-April 1991 issue of Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. Put that back in nicely so it doesn't get all bent and messed up. I really should make a working copy of that because the paper is pretty delicate, but I haven't yet. Okay, so here's where that one is so far. And what I worked on, I added the really light green in this lettuce and this squiggly border underneath this heading here. I didn't work on this a lot. I didn't get to it until evening after everybody else was in bed. So not a whole lot of progress on this one, but it's fun to work on. This is a 28 count natural linen by MCG Textiles. And being from MCG Textiles, anyone who's familiar with their fabrics knows that they can be a little bit wonky. So this is wonky, like instead of being straight across, it kind of goes up a little bit. You know, this is straight up and down, and this is just kind of like slanted a little bit. I'm hoping that that will kind of stretch out and my mind just went blank. Become the right shape. That's clear enough. When I wash it and then stretch it to frame it when it's done. So, you know, hoping that that ends up the way it's supposed to be. But I enjoy working on that. It's fun. Let's see. Yesterday, Saturday, I worked on American Sampler. This is another by Plum Street Samplers. And I really like working on this one. It turns out just really pretty. So this is what I have so far. This was another night that I did not really work on it throughout the day. I waited until everyone was in bed before I was able to really get started working on it. So what I did was, let me fold this up. I filled in this triangular, I think it's a garret, and then I still had some floss left, so I started down laying in the brickwork for the bottom half of the house. Again, not a huge amount of progress, but progress is progress, and it's looking good. This is being stitched with all the called for flosses on a 36 count linen that I dyed myself. Okay, so that is all of the stitching that I have done this week. When I spun last night to figure out what I would be working on today, I got one that I have not gotten out and worked on for a long time. It's called Blackwork Tangram, and that's what I have so far, so I'm thinking I will just keep filling in this portion with the green. I don't remember how much of the pattern that I have. Yeah. So it will look like this, plus some more that goes in here that I never did print out. And I won't really bother with that until I get to that area, so. This was a freebie from Lakeside Needlecraft. I don't think it's available anymore, which is mildly a problem for me because I don't think that I have on my computer saved this part of the pattern, so I'm gonna have to go onto the Lakeside Needlecraft Facebook page and look at other people's finishes of this project and see if I can work out what the pattern is for that last section, because I didn't print it out when it was available to me. Worst case scenario, I just find some other blackwork design and stick it in there. It's pretty straightforward. You just fill that rectangle with blackwork. Anyway, that is everything that I have for you this week. Not much going on in the way of life updates. We had some sickness kind of running through our family a little bit. The two youngest boys got hit with it, and then, like I said, I got it on Wednesday, but it was short-lived. It was like a one-day thing, and everyone's doing great now. That's all I've got for you. I hope everybody has a great week, and happy stitching, everyone. Bye.